So I wake up this morning and I see a message, and it's Access Rat Blood. Are you here, Rat Blood?
Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood.
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood.
Access Rat Blood, I see. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
Are you here, Rat Blood?
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood.
Access Rat Blood.
Most abundant and successful king hero that we are all sitting with at this very moment. Are you willing to accept that as a truth? That you are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now.
Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood. Access Rat Blood.
Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rat Blood?
Who the fuck is Access Rat Blood?
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood, bitch.
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
I'm Access fucking Rat Blood. Hello, friends and enemies of YouTube. Yes, it is I, the Axis, the digital drug dealing evil, necro promoting synthetic pimp, and all around fucking psychopathic motherfucker. But I do have a little bit of information to share with you on maybe kind of helping you understand the particular thing that you are, where you're at, and how some of the physics, quantum physics, and metaphysics all tie in together. They are a part of the same construct. They are a part of the same environment that you particularly inhabit at the moment. And there is a simplicity to it that is absolutely profound, but a complexity that is virtually beyond human comprehension. So, besides that, I do have a bit of information that I would like to share according to some synchronicities that were entirely too synchronized. And we'll see where that goes. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare myself a coffee, a cigarette, some amenities. So sit back, relax for a second, enjoy this song, um, and stick around if you want. Not, fuck off.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But necessarily my truth might not be everyone else's truth. So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
If some of these platforms, because there's many channels here, and a lot of them actually do, if people were honest when they're coming onto panels or chat, if they don't want to be honest with themselves, they want to tear down other people to disguise themselves. So what I get from that is people are insecure by using a false sense of security to mask it. They're not actually, they actually ever challenge themselves. What would that look like? Of course, they'll be picking up, but what about you? I said, here we go again. You're deflecting at that point. It's about you. If it's always about you, then make it about you. Be the best me can be there. Be the most selfish person you can be. So my question would be, then why are you living with the rest of us?
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Because it doesn't serve them to, what, I'm going to sit there and hear them and say, okay, so should I tell them that they're caught up in their own world? I'm just going to replace myself. Axis, you can take over for a while. It's your shift.
I think I'll take over for a while. It is my show. I am Axis. I've been around ghosting what little time I could. I've done some actual considerable amount of artwork here lately. I might just turn you on to it here in a minute or two or three or whatever. Pretty provocative pieces, pushing the limits of what you could consider absolute freedom of expression and art, and the brink of potential controversy where art and freedom of art come together. I was always taught that you don't apologize for your art. Your art is your art. And the other thing was, the worst thing about censorship is catch that? Hope so. Got a voice. You got a limited time. And if you're going to spend it, which is an interesting word, babbling, then this is probably definitely not a place for you. First off, no freakophobic. You should know that by now. Second off, if you are easily offended, or you the offender, the disruptor, or just a fucking asshole, fuck off. Don't want you here. Got no business here, and you're unwelcome. A advisory. This is an 18 plus channel. It is entertainment sometimes. It is factual sometimes. And it is speculatory from guests and sometimes myself. And we use profanity and we exercise artistic maximum. So if you are not 18, you are not welcome. Period. Other thing is, if you aren't an evolved-minded adult, then go play in the kiddie grounds. You know, the G-rated YouTube, where most of you fucking belong anyhow. With that out of the way, as I've been traveling the ether of YouTube, I've been hearing lots of spiritual gurus, lots of fear mongering from what I used to consider to be fairly reputable channels. I know better than that now. Much better. And these pathetic, pretentious channels trying to display and discuss their singular opinionated ideal. Hey, Zypher, good to see you. Yeah, I decided to pop on and just kind of hang out for a bit, you know? Maybe share some information, maybe interact, fuck, who knows, you know? I just found a little spare time, and I'm completely wore out from spending the week doing art. Uh, and I thought, fuck it. I'll at least share what I what I can, if it's of any relevancy or if it even fucking matters. But these pretentious, overemphasized supposed intellectual discussions are about as amusing, or actually less fucking amusing, than the pathetic panel verse trolling that goes on. I mean, if you want to get off of sleep medication, just tune into one of these fucking overly pronounced panel verse discussions on their attempted intellectual interaction with speculative idealism and about as much factual information as they've been fed, not what they have went out and earned, just what they've been taught, which is babble, such as the Old Testament. This is just a reference. This isn't a religious speech. The Old Testament coming out of Babylon, thus the Bible, Babel, for anybody that ever thought to look at that, developed the Abrahamic religions of what carried over to be the Mosaic book. And this is all during the time of the Israelites, which were a nomadic Semitic people, were held captive in Babylon. And seems that they just couldn't stop doing that. I mean, it's a repeated pattern with those people. They got to be under somebody's thumb throughout history for them to even function, I guess. I don't know. And I could give a shit less, truly. But there is an actuality to things. And people like to sum it up with the Creator, the great is God. Even your agnostic, your atheist, they're all trapped within the confines of the created thinking. Created thinking means that you cannot, as an individual, think outside of creation. You're stuck in here. You are trapped in a creation. Not outside of it. You're inside of it. And everything that you have learned from the time of your birth to this moment is information that you have acquired inside the creation. Now, if that doesn't give you a fucking clue as to how limited your scope of understanding is, then you probably have a huge ego and believe yourself to be vastly more than that which is comprehensible. And to that, I say you haven't done the work. Bullshit. You know fuck except what is within the creation. And that which you have been directed to spiritually, metaphysically, even the individual who believes themselves to be on a spiritual destination into this world, or whether it be karmatic or however the endeavor, the fact is you're inside the creation. And if you have any memories at all, it's because you can't remember outside of the creation. See, it's strange that everybody can remember a past life or past life regressions, or they even do past life hypnotherapy. And people recall all kinds of imaginative shit. You know, as for me in a past life, my surrogate dad drove a bulldozer for the SS during World War II. And I did oil maintenance and kept that machine running for him. And we operated and functioned quite successfully. There's a past life. How's that? When you are only able to remember what's inside the creation, and even at this point, you can only speak of that which is inside the creation, then that means that you are a part of the creation. Can't say it any simpler. And if you don't get that, then take your abstract ideals, your beautiful concepts, and go to fuck somewhere else and teach what you know or you think you know. I'm not a spiritual guru, not your fucking friend, not your role model, but I do have information. And as detestably as I hate sharing it with certain people, it seems that this information is caught by the very few and utilized, thought of. At least I hope it fucking provokes a thought in you. Instead of Siri or your AI buddy or what your friends think, which is the majority of you. And you are submitting yourself to a creation within a creation. When you understand the simplicity of how easy it is to comprehend that you are in a limited space of creation, then it's easy to understand by that fact there is that which is outside of creation. And I'm not talking just dimensions or planes. I'm talking outside of creation. Now, whenever you start dealing with these concepts, yeah, well, I suppose if you want to praise the devil, you can. You know, devil just means demon. It's kind of a derogatory term towards that which previous societies seemed to be pretty afraid of, and they had that fear of the dark. What's in the dark? What's going to get me? Well, it was demon, and demons translate to devil, devil, jinn, disembodied entities with malevolent intent. So next time, be more precise about when you say devil, because hell, you can mean so many. Asra, Zuzu, Asmodeus, Samael, Moloch, Tammuz. I mean, really, take your fucking pick. It's all within the creation. It's all a singular function. And let me try and put it in a tech term that maybe some of you will understand. A computer system divided against itself is a dysfunctional system. Conflicts, errors, doesn't work at all. It's like trying to run Windows 10 on an old Windows 95 system. Square peg, round hole. Now, when that system is working as a singular system, thus without conflicts, errors, and I guess operating system errors, it's a very useful thing. It's a creation. And all the information inside of it is within that creation. Now, on the outside of it, there's you. And when you start looking at the simplicity of it, for everything to function properly, it has to all be a part of one system. And that system is creation. Where you're at now. Regardless of what state, concept, or other you're thinking of, the fact is, you are by proxy experiencing this creation. And this body that you're in is an interactive design within the creation. Therefore, it's a part of the whole function. You can't take a car that has defective parts and expect it to work. Just doesn't happen. You know, you can't take a 67 Ford truck and change the parts out with a Volkswagen and expect to get anywhere. It's as simple as that. And those are the best analogies that I can give you. Outside of that, you're on your own. But by proxy, you are experiencing this creation. And within this creation, there is a language. It's called the language of creation. It is built off of our ability to comprehend at a certain level. There are those who cannot see the language of creation, and it's right in front of them. It's not hidden, not a fucking secret, not something that a fucking YouTube guru or a preacher needs to tell you about. It's self-evident. And then there are those that are conscious enough to be able to comprehend as best they can that language of creation, which in frequency terms would be variables of wavelength and wavelength patterns. In energy, it would be variables of energy that could be measured by the expenditure and the replenishing of by degrees and variables. And then there's vibration. And vibration is what allows frequency to operate within the realms of energy by creating variables. That fucking simple. And in this, there are equations. Fibonacci, Mandelbrot, yet there are immeasurable amounts of equations, almost beyond comprehension. And I'm sure that once you start running into quantum mathematics or even hyperdimensional mathematics, you'll understand that there are types of equations that are barely comprehensible by the human mind, and then there are those that are just absolutely beyond comprehension of the human mind. Most of you who go to these channels to hear intellectual debates, who's the smartest, who's the most articulate, and their ability to recite words from a thesaurus. And then you have those that just have no fucking talent whatsoever. That's why they have panels, or they use other people's material. And then you have the troll who likes to personally attack and create drama and controversy and disrupt. And those that have actual information that's worth hearing and sharing are drowned out by this nonsense. And therefore, they have swallow the digital illusion, hook, line, and sinker. Unless you're creating music, art, or you're expanding someone's consciousness with information and trying to loosen the weight, liberating the weight off of somebody so that this journey isn't as perplexing to them as it can be. These things are of value. Music, art, true information that holds value to one's need. It's information that serves them, as one individual used to put it. And you can read a 10th grade book to a kindergartner, and it ain't going to mean shit to them. I'm sure they'll find it amusing that you're reading a book to them as keeping their attention, maybe. They might like the interaction. But for them to comprehend it is a little far-fetched. And that's the sad, sick thing about it. You have so many who are looking to be liberated or to have that weight lifted off of them of questioning. Hold on, just a second. You know, Austin Murphy, I would love for you to quit that fucking ring, but you're such a fucking coward, piece of shit troll. You know, there's fucking Illumitami, Snafu, and you, Austin Murphy. And you're not wanted here. You're really not. So, suppose you're going to be exiled. Goodbye. And you, exiled. Anybody else got a smart ass comment? I didn't think so. Panel's open. Now, back to what I was saying. If you can liberate someone's mind, and especially allowing them creativity, expression, expression of creativity without guilt, shame, or taboo, superstition, then you are truly able to express larger percentages of your imagination, your mind, what you can put on canvas, what you can put on paper, what you can sculpt, what you can create with music. Your limits start to expand to the point where once you reach an artistic level of understanding There are no boundaries. And you can absolutely go places that Salvador Dali, Hieronymus Bosch, Da Vinci, uh, Van Gogh, and on and on. We're able to get a full grasp of a further concept of art. And there is an equation to it. And that equation, just a second here. That equation is a universal equation. It's called aesthetics. So no matter how abstract, whether it be drip painting, which is a form of free form drip art that creates itself randomly, to using divine proportion to create works of the masters, same as architecture or engineering design. And with inside this particular creation, all that information is here. All the information that you could ever want is here. But it's like tapping into a Wi-Fi signal. It's like tapping into a cellular tower. You become the device. And then all the information exists already. You aren't going to come up with shit that hasn't already been applied to the creation. But you may be able to access it. And with that access comes a profound state of comprehension, a bit of understanding, and the nonsensical aspects of what this particular adventure is becomes much more enjoyable, a lot more palatable to deal with. And that weight of uncertainty and limitation to be liberated from you, completely removed. And then you're not under any more controlled indoctrination, engineering, development, social design. You are able to remove yourself from that system. And when you do, you start to see exactly how much engineering, and especially the past 200 years, that you've been subjected to. And now that information is so expedient and abundant and right at hand, controlled engineering is also accelerated. Not only has it accelerated, but it has done so through a proxy creation. That's the computer, the cell phone, the smartphone. Started all the way back with the TV, the radio, and now engineering humans and programming them. It's just a part of the system they developed, and it works quite efficiently and effectively and rapidly. And the more that they do, and the more information, and the more realm of viable uh, transfer of information, the quicker and the easier it is for them to control, engineer, and construct you. And if you think for a minute that this hasn't happened to you, then tell me something or show me something that doesn't reside within the realm of this creation that you can prove within the creation, or show me something, or even relay to me any type of information outside of that which you have learned. Because you are no more than what you have learned. And if you spent your fucking time playing with this illusion, YouTube, video games, smartphones, and this has become the realm of your information, then they control the information, they control the feed, they control the algorithms, and they control exactly how much and what kind of information that you think you're so proud and so profoundly filled with. Huh. If that doesn't at least shake a bone in your body, then you're probably so eat up with yourself that you think this fucking world was built for you only. For you. But the fact is, everything that you think, everything that you express and experience is a compilation of information you have been fed. Now, here's the key. The key is liberating yourself from that. Just because somebody says that the imaginary line between states exists, the biggest part of you base your belief off of that or your understanding. Just because somebody told you that the days of the week had these particular names, you chose to believe and utilize that. Just because your history was fed to you, you believe that. And just because people wrote a fucking book, whether it be philosophical, historical, or religious based, somebody wrote that. And they fed it to you. Same way as going out and buying a book on witchcraft. magic or any other esoteric. It's just another person's interpretation of information that they have acquired. And then you go out and buy the book. And suddenly, by reading the book, you think that you're capable of doing the things in this book. You're capable of comprehending this profound information that somebody capitalized on by manuscripting it and selling it. Well, fuck. As much mouth running fucking bullshit that goes on YouTube, y'all should have books. Every fucking one of you to hear you tell it. Should be fucking rich beyond belief. Just selling books on Amazon. You profound thinking motherfuckers. Hell, you got AI assistants. You got fucking speech to text programs. And you can have AI edit that fucking book for you. And you don't even have to mass produce. You can sell through Amazon to order. You got a book in you? Or do you have someone else's information? Does that information belong to somebody else and you learn it? And just because you believed it, it became your understanding of this creation? Huh. Or maybe you just don't have shit to say. Or maybe everything you've got to say has already been said. You just happen to pick up on some of it, but not enough to write a fucking book. Because you haven't lived it. Now, if you'd have lived it and experienced it, then it might be a good read. Ugh. You know, there are certain reads that are very enjoyable when it comes to other people's life experiences and what they've done in life. I mean, Da Vinci, Plato. Yeah, excuse me, I got a bunch of ground up rat bone in my nasal cavity. Yeah, sometimes it builds up. But you have people who can scribe information in a way that it broadens your understanding. And even though it's broadening your understanding, it's still confining you within somebody else's thinking, not your own. Because anything that you repeat from that book is not yours. Anything you repeat from that book is theirs. And you're just a plagiarizer, which 99.9% of you are, period. You plagiarize. You know, I've yet to meet anyone in this particular side of YouTube that is engineering their own sounds, uh, creating original artwork that is not general in nature, is quite the opposite. Very abstract, very surrealistic. And none of you are writing fucking books. Because it's not your fucking information. It's someone else's. And if your life would have been interesting enough to have lived, then you would have wrote a book. I did. You should have. Had your life been interesting enough to write a fucking book. At least one that people would read. You're gonna have to excuse me. I would have to. This rat. I don't think I ground the rat bone up quite enough. Ah. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Okay, much better now. The ideal behind this is you cannot think outside of anything that you've been taught or creation. And I would say that as easily engineered and drawn into technology that you were, you probably didn't live a very exciting life. You may have had exciting moments. You may have had moments that were traumatic, memorable, life-changing, even spiritual. But if you talk to anybody, most everybody has had those moments. It seems to be a common theme. Part of, I guess, human development, that you go through these things. And as profound as they may seem to be to you, everybody seems to have their own profound moment. And man, they cannot wait to fucking share it with you for hours and hours. And when you get on a panel of these fuckers, these some bitches just want to share for like ever. And it doesn't come in the shape of just 2 or 3 different panels or 2 or 3 different shows of this particular situation that they found themselves in, which even I at one point in time was guilty of. But it goes on for fucking ever. There are profound moments in life that they want to share with everybody continuously over and over and over. And those that don't have shit to share disrupt. They're fucking trolls, man. And if you're one of those, then sorry about your luck, man. You missed out on something amazing. It's called life, called living it, called experiencing it. It's not something you're ever going to capture on the fucking internet. That's for damn sure. And a profound thought on the internet I have found lasts about as long as the next statement or topic. That's it. After you make a profound statement that should shudder people to the bone, it's forgotten within the next sentence or the next statement, which makes me think not only have you submitted yourself to somebody else's interpretation of information, not only are you a transmitter of that, controlled, conditioned, and engineered, but you got no fucking attention span either. And with attention span comes critical thinking. With critical thinking comes understanding that you're being engineered. And with that, you have to take into account what's engineering you. And not only what is engineering you, but what is it engineering you with? An interpretation of the creation that you choose to believe or not. But whether you believe it or not, you're still indoctrinated by other people's concepts, education, teachings. But there's a way to liberate yourself from it. There's a way to free yourself from the confining chains and restraints of other people's interpretations, information. And it's really quite easy if you can get rid of your fear long enough to do it. If you have the confidence in yourself as a liberated, universal being, you might just be able to step outside and take a look in and see what's actually going on. Because you're not original. And one thing I know that I have learned quite well on these fucking pathetic ass pieces of shit machines is that if you are original or you are an individual, they will hate you. They will attack you. They will despise you. They will come after you with every potential that they have. Because they can't be individualized and liberated of mind, free thinkers beyond the confines. They are not individuals. They are not expressive. They are not developers. They are not what in the mystery school teachings would be workers of the craft. Nope. They're just everyday transmitters for the same repeated reality that they want you to comply to. Step beyond that and you're a hated motherfucker. You will be despised, hated, contempt, bastardized, damned. Why? Because you can't liberate yourself, or because I don't conform to you? You know, think about that. Just for a moment. I don't comply to you. In a world that you try to connect things into some type of logical pattern, I don't comply to you. Listen to this. Observe. Think outside of the confinement of mathematics, equations. That should have at least resonated with you now. As many times as I've played it, as many times as it's been put right in front of you, it remained elusive because you're thinking within creation. You're thinking within the realms of your life knowledge. You've got to be able to receive the same as their programming, engineering, and designing. You as a mental transmitter, you also have the same ability to receive, but not from them. You subject yourself to them willingly. You utilize every fucking thing that they give you to try and express your understanding of being within a creation. And how do I know you're in a creation? Because you didn't create yourself, nor did you create the trees, the grass, the ground, the sky. No, that wasn't you. You had shit to do with it. But you're here. That should make sense to you. Maybe. I'm not going to hold my fucking breath on it. Anyhow, you can receive information because all information is coherent within the creation. And when you start removing your taboos, your stigma, your superstitions, and that which you have been programmed with, you can start receiving information that is profoundly liberated from that which you have been indoctrinated with, programmed, engineered, and designed. I may be wasting my breath. I don't expect really anybody to fucking get it. I really don't. I don't think you're capable of it. I don't think any of you are capable of thinking outside of your engineering, your social and developmental engineering. I don't think you can do it. I don't think that any of you have the ability to liberate yourselves from everything you have been taught about being in this creation. I think that it is only a very profound few who can alleviate themselves of what other people have interpreted to be this creation and to be the information that works within the creation. I think your mind would recoil in panic if somebody took that solidification of reality away from you. You would stumble into probably insanity, continually trying to register a thought. A thought that stems outside of everything you've been taught, engineered, programmed to understand or receive. But anyhow, obviously, that's on you. I could give a shit less. Truly. Just thought I'd share some information with you. But if you don't get it, you don't comprehend it, or you can't fathom it, then go to fuck back onto your mundane little lives and keep doing what you're doing. Links open. Panels open. And I am going to entertain myself until somebody shows up. And if they don't, I will still continue entertaining myself with or without you. That's just the absolute scope of it. Good selection. Something I haven't heard in a while. Oh, here you go. This is for all you geometrical black and white concept dwellers. Seeing someone wants to know what the hate frequency is. Oh, there's many frequencies. Why would you just want to know about the hate frequency? Why don't you ask me about the frequencies that I have for calming oneself, or defensive frequencies that neutralize damaging frequencies? Why don't you ask me about some of the more loving, peaceful, euphoric frequencies that I've found? No, can't ask about that, can you? You got to ask about the hate frequency. Why? Because you probably heard that I developed it, and I utilize it. And you are working within the confines of information that you have acquired somewhere along the panel burst. So, yeah, I have a hate frequency. But it's not really actually a hate frequency. What it does is whenever I use this subsonic tone, it causes the cerebral state of mind to become agitated, thus causing irritation, aggravation. But hate's a pretty powerful word, and the fact that you even ask about it means that you probably either are concerned that you might be subjected to it, or you want the technology for yourself so that you can exploit it. Well, not going to give it to you. Not going to explain it. Done that one too many times. Not even going to fucking dignify it with any more of a response. Because you're not. And in case any of you are wondering, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the third stage of this channel's development into art, music, metaphysics, quantum physics, and conceptual understandings of being a part of what you comprehend as creation and the alleviation of your indoctrinated system of control, engineering, and conditioning.
A clear breach of protocol. 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 A clear breach of protocol.
Now, before I hit the 2 hour mark, I want everyone listening to know I've given you almost 2 hours of entertainment and didn't ask for a goddamn thing. So all these motherfuckers operating these platforms, reaching their fucking hands out like beggars because they can't create their own fucking content and they can't make their own living. I don't ask for a fucking thing. Nor do I ask you to change your thinking, your beliefs, your art. But above all, I can entertain you and not ask for a fucking dime. Remember that when you're on these other assholes' platforms who are trying to make a living off of you and have shit to offer.
throbbing with emotion, trembling with horror, trembling with horror, trembling with horror, trembling with horror. Welcome to hell.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed, my extremities pulsating with tingling sensation.
Welcome to hell.
Have we seen the actual reality of a monstrous crime, or merely an illusion, the product of a tortured brain? Welcome to hell.
Obsessed with the taste of flesh.
He was cruel and a sadist.
Swaying back and forth. A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip. It was all very good.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
No one had a bad trip.
The mind of man rests on a delicate balance between reality, the world of light, and the other, darker world below the threshold of consciousness. Welcome to hell.
You. Do you know that?
We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.